Hello, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. So now what I've done is I've taken my piece of glass, which is 15 centimeters by 20 centimeters long, and I've drawn a rough idea of what picture I actually want to paint on there. So just taking 2 circles, drawing them round, and a few lines. Now when you're painting on the reverse, normal paintings you put your block colours down first, then you put your highlights and shadows in. But when you paint in the reverse, you have to put your highlights and shadows and foreground objects in first. So when I go a little bit closer, you'll see that all these little things, the doorknobs and everything, are facing us, which are the closest. So that's what we've actually got to put in first. So it'll be the doorknobs and then all those and the bars on the doors. So all the foreground has got to be placed first, and all your shadows and reflections and everything. So now I've flipped the glass over, so we're going to be painting in the reverse. I always find it a lot harder to paint in the reverse because you have to be a little bit careful, because it's very difficult to correct your mistakes. So go really, really easy and slow and keep checking to see that everything's working quite fine. So now I'm going to be using all these really, really small detailing brushes. So starting off, I'm going to be taking some titanium white to put some of the highlights in, just where the reflection of the sun is going to be hitting these little. Good idea is to have a wet cloth so you can just keep wiping off your errors. Unfortunately, when you're painting in the reverse, you have to wait for every step for the paint to dry, because you can't paint over it, unlike when you're painting normally. You can just paint over all the time. Here I'm just using a dotting tool to do the little handles on the door. Just dip the paint in and then flip it over and see if they're in the right spot. So it's looking okay, so now we continue on. For those of us that can't draw a straight line freehanded, what I've got is I've got some packaging from some paintbrushes, which has got a nice clean smooth edge. And all I'm going to do is take it and place it where I want to draw my line, using a very, very thin paintbrush once again. Once the paint is dry, we're going with a toothpick and just fix up the lines so that we've got really straight lines. Now take your toothpick and a ruler, cover the black line, and then where you want to take the black that's not straight off, just take the toothpick and run it down the side. So now we're going to put the circle around the doorway. So now all the detailing is done, and now it's time to put your block colour down. So I'm choosing to go with this rather nice off-white, and what you're going to do is you're going to paint the entire piece. Then put that aside to dry. Paint is all dry. If you found this video helpful or you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Really appreciate it if you would subscribe. Thank you so much for watching.